Good morning and welcome to The Big Story on Daybreak Live. Today we revisit a call that echoes from the root of Yoruba political heritage, a call from Afenifere, the respected socio-political organization urging Southwest leaders to prioritize governance over politics. The topic today, this morning, Afenifere speaks truth to power. Time for Southwest leaders to govern, not politic, right? It's a reminder that leadership must rise above party loyalty and that true governance is about service, not self-interest. Samson Balogun is my name, and thank you for staying tuned. There's a lot to unpack on today's edition of The Big Story. The story of Afenifere is inseparable from the story of the modern Yoruba politics. Founded in 1951 as the socio-political arm of the Action Group, the movement emerged under the visionary leadership of Chief Obafemi Awolowo, a man whose intellect, foresight, and commitment to human capital development transformed the Southwest. Awolowo's leadership was marked by purposeful governance and unmatched reforms. He introduced the first free primary education program in Africa. Yes, you can find that anywhere. Democratized access to healthcare and established a network of regional farm settlements to boost agricultural productivity. Under his administration, the Western region became a model of progress, birthing landmark projects such as the Cocoa House you have here in Ibadan, Adugbe, the first television station in Africa, WNTV, the Liberty Stadium in Ibadan, and the Western Nigerian Marketing Board, which ensured fair pricing and economic stability for farmers. His economic blueprint turned cocoa, the region's major export, into a foundation for industrial growth, urban development, and self-reliance. These achievements made the Southwest the most socially and economically advanced region in Nigeria during his era. You heard me right. Afenifere, building on that legacy, became more than a political platform. It evolved into a voice of conscience, guided by values of equity, justice, and people-first governance. Over the years, leaders like Chief Adekunle Ajasin, Chief Abraham Adesoya, Paruben Fashoranti, and Chief Ayo Adebanjo continued to uphold this vision, challenging leaders to remember that true measure of power is public service. Today, Afenifere's recent admonition is not just a critique, but a reminder that greatness of the Yoruba nation was built by leaders who governed with vision, not by those who played politics with the people's future. Good morning once again. Thank you for joining us on the show. To help us unpack this issue this morning is Honorable Molaja Olaoye, who is a core progressive, an APC stalwart. With him, we'll be making sense of the recent admonition by the Afenifere group to the Southwest leaders. Honorable Molaja Olaoye, good to have you in the studio.
Good morning to you, Samson. Good morning. Thank you for having me here today. And good morning to you, viewer at home. Thank you for watching us.
Now, if you look at the current trajectory, when we talk about leadership in the Southwest, you cannot but understand the role of the Afeniferes from 1951 down to where we are today. Now, who are the Afeniferes and what is their role?
We are all, as long as you are a Yoruba man, you are Afenifere, because the word itself is a Yoruba, called from Yoruba dialect, which is Afenifere. We love each other. So the fact still remains that we are all Afenifere, in as much as you are a Yoruba man. That is what Afenifere is all about.
As long as you are a Yoruba man.
You are a Yoruba man. You are part of Afenifere. We love each other. We want good things to happen to us. The word pronounced as Afenifere is that. That is the word. But when you are now talking about, if you want to divulge it to any other thing, it's a different thing. But as long as you are a Yoruba man, you are Afenifere.
Now, let's talk about Afenifere further. If we are talking about Afenifere, what is the role of the Afenifere? And from 1951 to where we are today, has there been a change or a paradigm shift in what Afenifere is meant to do?
It's not different, but still, but it has been hijacked from those people who created from this.
Who hijacked
Yeah,
Afenifere?
exactly.
Who are those who hijacked
Yeah,
Afenifere?
because we are talking about politics.
Has it been polarized?
It has been polarized
By who?
by everyone that has interest in politics, by everyone that has ambition, because ambition is unique to every human being, and we have to be ambitious. If you are not ambitious, that means you are dead already, or you are not going to be counted. So you see, the fact still remains that, you are talking about Action Group. Action Group came to existence probably in 1956 or thereabout, and you are talking about Afenifere. That means that the Action Group is called from Afenifere, whether you like it or not. So for you to know that politics is all about life.
Now, when we talk about Southwest politics, we saw the landmark projects achieved by the late Obafemi Awolowo. Major projects, the WNTV, the Cocoa House, the Liberty Stadium, and the major roads he constructed at the time, which are still in existence. I can remember vividly, Ibadan to Ijebu, they is still there. It's a road that was constructed during that time. And if that is the case, with those major projects, where did we veer off? Where did we get it wrong? That we now have leaders at the corridor of power who enjoyed the Awolowo kind of politics, who enjoyed the Awolowo kind of dividends of democracy at the time, free education. And now, this is where we are. They can't even provide free education for the Nigerian children.
I think something you got that wrong, because every primary education has been free for any household in Nigeria, whether you like it or not. It was entrenched in the constitution that was in 1975 and 1976 when Baba Obasanjo was there. Basic primary education. Now, basic primary education has covered JSS 1 to JSS 3 as well. But now, talking about the man Awolowo has done countless things. He is the face of Yoruba when you are talking about politics. And he has done what others has never been achieved. But still, he is a politician. And he has been playing the politics for a very, very long time. But probably because of the kind of ambition he has, the kind of notion, the kind of things he wants Nigerians to become. That is why he played politics so many times. He played politics before he gained independence. And that is why he was isolated probably by those ambitious people like Southeast. I'm talking about Nnamdi Azikiwe, because he's always a politician and he has been playing that role and he did it very well. So now we can be able to talk about his achievement. Like you have mentioned, you are talking about WNTV, you are talking about stadium in Ibadan, you are talking about construction of Ibadan to Ijebu. There are numerous things he has done. But politics is part of governance.
Now, let's break it down a little bit. We saw what Awolowo did. Now, the Action Group is no longer in existence. And so many of the people who went to the Awolowo School of Politics, they went to different political parties, just like we have the progressives now, which are a member of the APC, and so many other progressive political parties in the country. We have the people we can call the Democrats, who are the conservatives in the country. Now, if we put that side by side, some of them, even in the PDP, are saying they are practicing the Awolowo kind of politics, and Awolowo was a progressive, and they are conservatives. How does this match together? Does it mean that they have lost track of ideology?
Yeah, I think they have lost track of ideology. And when you look at it, the Action Group ideology, Awolowo ideology, that started all this, mind you, Awolowo wasn't the first person that created a political party. The political party was created by Abad Macaulay. That was probably in 1907 or 1906 or 1903, thereabout. That when he created it, he's a Yoruba man. That is why you have to know one thing about that. He created it and he has been agitated for a lot of things. But Awolowo came and he does wonderful things. For now, you have seen the culture of Yoruba center around what Awolowo has achieved and his political ideology. That is why now somebody like President Ahmed Bola Tinubu saw that it is not about being, it's not about we domesticated our politics. We have to spread it along Nigeria. That is why APC comes into being. And a lot of things are conjured to have that name. But the progressive ideology, which means modern and new things, modern new ideas coming into force to make us to go further. And you will see that even when we have AD, Alliance for Democracy, you can see what they imbibe. They talk about free education. They gave people, you are talking about all these from primary to secondary school, and they even, pay for their WAEC fees as well. So the ideology of Action Group, which I would have embedded in the system, is still run in progressive. You see, it is APC government that introduced free food to a lot of students. Mind you, in Osun State, it was started by Oyinola, but he was unable to implement it before Aregoshola came on board. And he did it very well. So the ideology of Action Group, which Awolowo, established, still embedded in APC. No matter what PDP does, I don't think they have it.
Should we say the challenge is about how the party has metamorphosed over time? As the party changes name, does the ideology change? Now, let me start from here. We used to have Action Group, which is no longer in existence. But then there was a time when the AD came to existence. We had AD, we had AC, ACN, then became there was a merger with the ANPP at a point, a merger with the during the Buhari administration. Before Buhari administration, there was a merger with his CPC group, which now became the APC. Now, as the party metamorphosed from AD down to APC, was there a change in terms of ideology? Or did we, at a point, have people who were not actually progressives who were encroached into the political party?
Yeah, you expected that. You expected that people who are not, who doesn't know much about politics encroach into the system. And no matter what they do, they are going to bring different ideology as well. You see, when APC was formed, you can see the way Bola Ahmed Tinubu is running the government right now. He's being inclusive. And he's ready to have new ideas. No matter what you have, you are going to be able to table it, and it's going to be able to be done. Now talking about, when you are talking, Awolowo can be able to do this because of taxation. And mind you, the colonial masters start the taxation. And when they start taxation, they include women. That is foreign to our culture. Because women are not inclusive in a lot of things. They were excluded because of our culture. And the first kind of demonstration we have was in Onitsha by women. Now it was done and women negate themselves. But what was done by the Yoruba women, it really didn't do what they did in Onitsha. The Onitsha kind of demonstration is in history. But what like of Ransom Kuti, Funke Ransom Kuti, and others like mother of Wole Soyinka did, by dethroning a sitting king.
That was Alake of
Igbala. Make it to be extraordinary. Because they wouldn't stop, despite the fact that the king,
he had to find his way out of the palace.
the king even succumbed to their will and caprices. But they said they want him out of the palace. For you to see that the Western education and the Western system is being brought to our culture. Our culture allows it because the system we run allows it. That is for you to know when you are talking about progressivity mean new and modern things that is going to be coming on board. And that is what is being introduced in this government right now.
All right. As the Afenifere this morning mentioned that the Southwest leaders should focus on leadership and not politicking. What do you think actually prompted that statement?
Afenifere have to, those people who are in affairs, they have derailed already because you are talking about Chief, the late Chief Adebanjo. He has been, voracious in his statement all the time. He has been speaking, and people has been hearing him. He has been controversial all the time. But at the end of the day, he tilted towards a kind of political party, because a lot of, there is nobody one that doesn't have his price these days. He tilted toward PDP at some point, in which, he attended their meeting, he attended their gathering, and he speak good about them. So for you to know, he has real. Because when you are talking about progressivity and what the progressive idea that's been implemented right now, it still belongs to AD, ACN, and the recent APC that has been created. So it has been polarized. And Fasonati, who is the leader, the Baba is very old, and God bless him. And there is little he can be able to do. He's been remoted. So they have to try as much as possible to reorganize themselves and align and know how they are going to be able to focus. But now, in Southwest, they must give into consideration that we have any political party that can win election. You are talking about PDP, you are talking about APC, any other party can just come. Labour can come tomorrow and win election. So we saw the way Labour won the president, the president elected tilted towards Labour during the last election. So with time, as time goes, Afenifere ideology will be center-based on what Yoruba needs. It is not about them involving in political party and governance.
How would you describe the current state of governance in the Southwest? Are the leaders serving the people, or they are playing to the interest of their political parties?
You expected that. It is not about even interest of political party. A lot of them are self-serving right now. They are ambitious. They have another laurel. They have another target. They have another, things they want to clinch apart from being a governor. A lot of them want to be a president. And we are seeing what is the manifestation of what is now going on in Southwest. We have some governors just want to become a president because they knew they have completed their time, and the ambition is still there for them to become something better than the governorship. So you cannot divert that. You cannot separate that from governance. And you cannot separate that from humans' want, which is unlimited. So it is about self-serving right now. It's not about people-oriented. What they really want. And mind you, we are a lot of the citizens can be gullible. We saw what happened in the United States of America, for God's sake. When President Trump came to power, he sold what people wanted. You can see what happened in New York, mayoral race that is going on right now. You are talking about Mandami. What is selling to the people? He cannot be able to implement it. But they still want it. So now you are talking about, it is so complicated to the extent that we can be deceived. It is not, the politics of today is not about party. It is not about, it's about self-serving, I would call it.
Why do you think party loyalty takes precedence in the current political landscape in the country as we speak? Why do the leaders gravitate more towards their political party than the people?
Because you have to. Because the constitution of the different party, the rule that guides them is different. And you must be able to embrace your party, not the way, when you are talking about the party, we can change it at a point in time, at the will, when our needs is not being able to be satisfied by a political party. But still, we just hold the crest as if it is part of our life, as if we cannot be able to disappoint that crest. So people really not, gauge towards political party. I still tell you, it is about self-serving that we are having right now. You can see how people change political party. In a place like US, in a place like Britain, conservative, you are going to see a family being a Labour or Labour Democrat for all their life. Go and find out. Churchill family has never become a Labour card carrying member. Go and see United States of America. You have never seen any family of George Bush being a Democrat. That is why you are seeing a lot of states that are going to, till tomorrow, they are going to be voting for Democrat or Republican till tomorrow. But that is not what we will have in Nigeria. People can tilt toward anywhere they wanted. They can just say because they don't like your face or they don't like the way you talk or dress, and they are not going to vote for you tomorrow. We vote on sentiment. Ideology and principle is what we don't have.
Do we still have politicians in the Southwest that embody the Awolowo principle as we speak?
Yeah, you see, I mean, check the way someone like Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu dressed. The spectacle is going to show you that that is Awolowo spectacle.
Is it about dressing or the
It
principle?
is not about
within?
the principle or no principle. It has to be reflected. It is not only based on ideology or what you think you can be able to do. You have to reflect it because people are going to see from the way you look.
Now, is it about, I'm still coming back to that. Is it about looks?
It is
or
part
about,
of it.
about your principles, things you do for the people?
It is part of it. In a place like India,
What difference does the look make?
the Gandhi, the spectacle,
Mahatma Gandhi.
Mahatma Gandhi, you are going to know the spectacle of Mahatma Gandhi. It is what Awolowo it is not what Awolowo just tries to copy. We all have our godfather, we all have our heroes, we all have our people we look up to, whether you like it or not. It might be a musician, it might be a politician, it might from different angles. We have people we dreamt all about, and we have to reflect that role in our mode of dressing. There's nothing we can do about that. So it is well expected. That is why I say to you, it is not only the way Asiwaju looks. It is not that we copy everything that belongs to Awolowo. I'm just giving you an example. So for you to know that Awolowo ideology, it is very good for Nigeria. So unfortunately, we won't have it.
So some say Afenifere's influence has waned compared to what we had in the First Republic. Do you believe that? As their influence reduced in any way?
It will reduce because during the time of when we have First Republic, the First Republic, it has waned. But when we have the First Republic, the Awolowo system that it really did, when we have about 3 regions, probably west, the north, the southwest, or the west, the north, and the middle belt. Now, it is what was done at the time of NPN and UPN, whereby you have free education in all European states. Now, this is what is being copied right now. Mind you, the basic equation was changed in 1975, like I said, 1976, when Obasanjo did all the basic that every child must go to primary school, which is basic and it's free. Now, extension depend on extension of it was done when we are, during the Second Republic, whereby it's extended to secondary school. Somebody like me, benefited from free education in 1981. So, and I really thank God because we are giving free exercise book, we are giving free desks and table, we are not paying anything, and it's only our uniform that you are going to buy. But still, we have to, our family have to pay tax, and we have to show that tax receipt.
What role can the Afeniferes play to hold the government more accountable that we currently see as we speak?
The only thing they can do is that if it's not polarized, if they have been genuine, and we have a true leaders in which people can look up to. Now, when they say anything, people can be able to follow their step. When Abraham Adesina was there, people respected him, and whatever he does, whatever he says, all Yoruba are going to follow it. But after his demise, we have not had that kind of unified leaders like Abraham Adesina.
Now, going forward, let's look at how the Afeniferes can bridge the gap between the older statesmen and the young politicians we have now. I think there's a gap where do we really have young people in the Afeniferes? Because if we do, we saw leaders in their 90s still be leaders of the Afeniferes. I mean, the torch should be passed down to the other generation.
I think the other generation are going to fight for it. There is nothing cheap in politics, and there is nothing cheap in life.
Is that a true reflection of how the political system looks like in Nigeria?
It is.
Just recently, Paul Biya has been declared president in Cameroon, again, at over 90. Now, we now have the likes of Atiku Abubakar still vying for presidency in the country. We still have people like President Bola Ahmed Tinubu still being president. Whereas, in some other countries, we now have people in their 40s, well in their 40s, 30s, being presidents.
No.
Is there a complete overview of what's going on?
It is sometimes by chance and people's beliefs. What is happening in Nigeria, like I didn't support it, but I don't like the discrimination about age discrimination, whether you are old, whether you are young or not, because you have to pay your due. The first time we asked somebody that is 40 plus that become president in America was during the time of Jeff Kennedy. That was, I think, in around 1962 or 1963. And after that, we have never had it so good until Bill Clinton. So you see that these people work for it. And when you are talking about United Kingdom as well, we see somebody in his 40s become a prime minister. That was during the time of Tony Blair. Since then, we have not had it. Because a lot of people have to pay price before they get to a candidate of life. It is not about whether you are 40 or 50. Yes, the young elements are doing brilliantly well, no doubt about it. But they have to evolve. They have to talk. They have to do a lot of things. Like I told about Mayor of New York City, this Mandami came. He is young and is energetic. He was the one that even encouraged a lot of young elements to even feel for to have a political ideology and to be able to be part of Democrat, so they can be able to compete for any future election. The young element are not just going to expect that everything is going to drop to their life. Free will is not possible. They must coordinate amongst themselves and make sure how they can be able to fight for these. You have seen Hillary Clinton be in Democrat all her life. When he was 16 or 17, he went to the convention and talked and gave a speech. These people are going to, the people in Nigeria and the Nigerian politicians are going to give you that benefit if you can be able to excel in what you do. But Samson, it is not going to be cheap. Every youth must work very hard to get to any place in politics. We need them. They are vibrant, but it is not going to be cheap.
Now, when you talk about youths working their way up the ladder, especially up the food chain in the political system in the country, what does that entail? What does it include? What does an average Nigerian youth have to do? You mentioned what Hillary Clinton has been doing as a Democrat. But of course, in Nigeria, we have a different setup to that of America. Yes, we might have copied a few things from how they govern, from their policies and the likes. They've been in existence way more than Nigeria. But the truth is, if you are to localize what is going on in America in Nigeria, it might not really work. You have to localize based on what the Nigerian people want and what will work in Nigeria. Now, going forward, what does an average Nigerian have to do, especially Nigerian youth, to actually work his way up the food chain when it comes to the political system in the country?
I'm very grateful for you telling me that. Now you are talking about the electoral law. Majority of people who are in politics now, right now, who even registers are mostly the youth. When you are talking about, you are talking about
the current statistics released by INEC. The new registrar.
Now, the new
people who just registered. Okay.
Now, when you are talking about National Assembly, many of the National Assembly members are full of young elements. I'm not talking about the Senate. And when you are talking about how they are going to pass the law is about each and every leader has the right to vote, not the passage of any law. It is not about the special any special priority is being given to Senate. And you knew that Federal House of Reps is more than probably about 300 and something members. And the Senate is 109.
109.
Now, electoral reform has to be done. And this electoral reform is going to reflect in each political party, whereby there cannot be selection in the primary process. I always emphasize that. Let us have direct primary. Let each and every member be able to vote for who they want to be able to be their candidate. Our youth has this force. They can be able to. You can see what is happening right now. It is not about traditional ways whereby some people are going to believe that when I put anybody as a candidate, you are going to win. It is the youth that does the wonder. For somebody like Peter Obi on the social media, they have the power, they have the will, they have the time, they have the energy, they have the concept, different concept they can be able to do. They can be able to make black to be blue, blue to be black. Imagine that. And it's reflecting in our voting pattern because it's awareness. This is what they have. They have the power. I don't even know. I have a phone. I don't know how to use 98% part of that phone. Those kind of software and different things that is on the phone. But the young ones can be able to do it. For you to know that they have the privilege, they have the time, they have the concept, they have whatever it takes to be able to change political dynamics. So this is what they are going to use so they can be able to evolve and do wonderful things.
Okay, the political structure in Nigeria, do you think it currently gives room to people-centered governance? The current political structure, from party to the people, and most definitely to governance generally?
Yes, of course. Most especially the president of, the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He has been listening to people. Whatever they want is what he does all the time.
You think so?
Whatever he wants to do, he can change it at will. When people really criticize and want things to be done differently. Part of it is when you see about this clemency being given to some criminals. He will tilt towards whatever you want.
Is that an indication that the president listens?
He listens all the time. He listens all the time. When Nigerians say they are hungry, he said he understands them. You can see the price of food being crashed right now. Only if you don't go to market. Probably your wife does all the time. But somebody like me, I know how they send go of gari, if I don't know, because that is giving good. It is easy to soak gari anytime. And with Google will take back. Or anything, it goes with anything.
Is President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration people-centered?
It is people-centered.
How do you justify that?
That's something I said. He listen. He listen. When they say there is hunger, they crash the price of food items. And I debated with in your radio station. I mean, thank God the caller just came in. A woman said, "What I said is right. Is right." When the president doesn't even know the Congo of how they say the Congo of Gari in the market, and she really backed me up. She said it's true. I was saying 600, 700. And she said it's 500. For you to know. And what about beans? What about rice right now? Now rice price has come down. People are saying, is it only rice we are going to eat? You see? And I tell you about the clemency when you are talking about the prisoner. A lot of things have been recited, and it has been really well packaged.
And you don't think this current approach by the president is just a cosmetic approach that might boomerang in the long run?
And what do you mean by boomerang? We are living in the present. We are not.
Aren't you going to see the food price go up once again?
It is then that it goes up, but right now it went down. That is for you to know that it listens and it does things according to people wanted. Live tomorrow. Tomorrow will judge itself.
Now, if you look at the current structure, you've been talking about President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. What do you think he can do going forward to make sure that food prices are stabilized in the country? Some people have mooted price control. The prices should be controlled.
It is not. We are not living in a communist state. We are living in a capitalist state, whereby a lot of things is being done by the. You can see the system in America.
He's leaving everything to the market force to decide prices.
It has to be the market force. That is what, for a capitalist economy, you are not going to determine what the market price is going to be. All you are going to do is to stabilize it. All you are going to do is to regulate and even monitor that some people, when we have a lot of increase in price, it's because of hoarding. Now, Dangote came out that people that are holding dollars should be careful because they are going to be disappointed at the end of the day. He gave them about 30 or 60 days top most. That with that price, the price of dollars is going to be crashed because what determines it? It can be able to control it. You are talking about oil. You are talking about fuel. It's going to fool the market, and the market is going to be saturated with oil. That people are not going to be demanding for dollar to buy from foreign land. That's for you to know that he knew the indices, he knew what it takes, and he knew how he can do it brilliantly well, and he has been doing it. Now, before we are borrowed nations. Before we depended on oil before we can be able to supply. But no, it's not anymore. The revenue has tripled more than 2 or 3 times.
What else do we depend upon aside from oil?
There is a lot. It is not about what we depend upon. It's what we can create to generate revenue. That is what matters. And when you are talking about taxation as well, it's so regressive. Our taxation is so regressive. The rich doesn't pay more. The rich doesn't pay. It is the poor that bear the body. But right now, it has shifted to the head of those people who are very rich.
And that will be until January next year.
I don't know about January next year. I don't know about that. Let January next year comes, and we are going to know what is going to happen. But at this present moment, I think it's more better.
Honorable Wala Jaloyi, thank you for joining us in the studio this morning.
Thanks for having me.
It has been a wonderful session with you.
Yeah.
We'd love to bring you here again to talk about strategic issues and the pertinent issues that concern average Nigerians.
I'm looking forward. All
right, as we draw the curtain on today's big story, the message remains clear. Power without purpose is wasteful, and politics without principle is hollow. Afenifere's voice, from Awolowo's era to today, continues to remind Southwest leaders that progress begins where service outweighs self-interest. Governance must always come before politicking. This has been the big story on Daybreak Live. I am Samson Balogun, thanking you for staying with us. Until next time, tomorrow, keep the conversation going. Bye for now.